Hello. Hey everybody. Hope you are all doing well. I hope you can also hear me. That's something I didn't test. Okay, yeah. Hey y'all. Hey Kaiwan. Oh, you guys hanging in there? What a week. There we go, make sure I have my notes up. Oh man. So yeah, coming at you live on a Monday. You guys had Memorial Weekend in the States, so I figured let's do it Monday instead. Because today was a repeat, I think. I hope. Hey, Sabrina. Apologies in advance. It is hockey nights here in Canada. And our team, the Oilers, is playing, and my grandmother's watching. Maybe the game's wrapped, I don't know. It's been quiet for a bit. But you might occasionally hear yelling from my grandmother, either cheering or being angry. But yeah, I hope you guys all had a good weekend. I mean, obviously, we got some pretty rough news on, I think Saturday is when we got the news. Or Sunday we got the news that Johnny Wachter, who played Brando, was shot and killed. And how much more loss, from the GH cast? Like, I was saying, from like December 2022, that's when Sonia Eddy died. And then it was Jackie after that, and then Billy, and then Tyler, and then Nanika, the producer, and then now Johnny. And it's like, how much more, man? But yeah, I can't even fathom it. And if you guys didn't see the post, we'll be doing a memorial for him on Wednesday, and it's crazy because we've done 4 other ones, and it's in a year. Like, that's nuts. A year and a half. Ugh. But yeah, I can't wrap my brain around it. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, just so you guys know what will be going down Wednesday. Obviously, Brando was only here for a couple of years, as he got hooked. I can't really show clips from 2012 onward because that stuff turns off live streams like nothing. But I do have a lot of clips of his other acting accolades, and we'll be reading the messages that the GH cast members have all posted about him, past and present. And there's a lot. Clearly, he was a guy that had a profound effect on all of the cast that was there. And that's what makes it more heartbreaking because, Brando, the character, didn't really interact with a whole lot of people that often. It was mostly the Corinthos clan, Sasha. But you had everyone from John Lindstrom to Finola Hughes to Kirsten Storms to, just like several cast members that probably never even interacted with the character, talking about how good of a person he was. So it was insane. Hey, Angel. Yeah, it is crazy. Like, he died protecting his coworker. Like, that's heroic till the end. But yeah, we're gonna do the memorial on Wednesday. We're gonna honor him that day and just, kind of hug it out, man. Like, I don't want to talk about it too much today because honestly, like, even like at work, reading some of the other comments that were made today as opposed to yesterday from the cast members, like, had me actually crying at work, and it was embarrassing. But man, yeah, I don't know. Clearly the actor had an effect, and and if everyone's saying the same exact thing, like, it has to be true. Ugh, brutal. Never wanted Brando to leave the show. I wanted Brando and Sasha to have their baby. Yeah, like, just horrible, truly horrible. But yeah, we'll definitely reflect a bit more on everything with Johnny on Wednesday. But for today, welcome to General Hospital MV, my GH after show. We're going to recap all of last week and kind of go over the stories. There were only really 3 major stories that kind of happened last week. And obviously it's Gregory's death, Kristina's reaction to Sonny, and Alexis meeting Fergus at her hearing. So yeah, but there's a lot to get into in kind of each category. I don't think the live stream is going to be significantly long. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't see what Ingo said. That is one that I missed, and one that I'm thankful for missing. Like, there's a time and a place, you know? Ugh. People are disgusting, honestly. Bring up political shit when a guy just got shot and killed by like a crook. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, we'll get into that on Wednesday, maybe a little. We're mostly going to reflect on the person that Johnny was and his lasting effect with the cast, and watching old clips of his other acting gigs, which I've never seen any of them before. And thankfully, oh yes, it's your birthday, Angel. Happy birthday! I forgot. I'm sorry. Happy 30th birthday. Welcome to the club. I am 3 years in, and I haven't cracked yet, you know? I still look relatively youthful. My back's never really sore. My knees, if I stay on them too long, that kind of hurts a little bit, but doesn't happen often these days. But yeah, happy birthday, Angel. Obviously, we're going to dedicate this Wednesday to Johnny, but perhaps you get dibs on what we watch next week. So think amongst yourself. It's Angel's choice for a reaction video. Just keep it like 2020, but pre-2010 if you can. But it's a clip of your choice. Make it a good one. All right, but yeah, let's get into the show, you guys. The first thing I want to talk about is Gregory's death. The final time that we see him alive. Your 30s are going to be great. The final time that we see him alive, Gregory, Violet and Finn are getting home from the wedding. There's a really sweet and loving moment between Gregory and Finn where Finn is helping his father take off his wedding attire and get into his night clothes. Just a really sweet moment between them. Then we get a really sweet montage with the song The Lovely Years by Fisher being used for it. It's a song that's been used on GH before. The last time that they used it that I recall, I feel like it might have been more than once, but the last time that I can truly recall it being used was during AJ's death, when Emily, Alan, Lila, and Edward came to take him up to heaven, because apparently he got there. And it was a great scene as well for that. And yeah, that montage that we've seen of Gregory, we see pictures of Josh Picard and Michael Easton when they were kids. Obviously their own pictures from their own childhoods. And even Gregory Harrison we see at a young age holding a baby. And I think obviously this is probably one of his real life kids, but we're to presume it's either Chase or Finn. And they showed flashbacks of scenes with sorry, I'm blanking here, with Chase and Finn and Violet and Alexis, but we don't see any flashbacks of him and Tracy, which I'd say it's a fair thing to say. At least the last 6 months or so, he shared a lot more scenes with Jane Elliott and Tracy. So it was I thought it was weird that he just didn't acknowledge her at all in his death. And then at the end of the montage, the music gets a little bit eerie. So at that moment, I was like, okay, he's definitely dead. He definitely just died in his sleep. And sure enough, the next day, after Finn gets home from dropping Violet off to school, he finds Gregory dead in the bed. And Michael Easton absolutely killed those scenes. Joffrey Love killed her scenes when Finn tells Violet as well. It's funny. Give that little girl serious material, and she's like crying. She's in shock, giving like something that seemed like a truly authentic performance, like truly authentic moment. Like, this girl can act, and they always have her try to be like, I don't know. I feel like they're trying to really make her Emma. And this girl got chops like, I don't know. Not that Emma didn't, because obviously she did. Sorry, Brooklyn, the actress that played Emma. But we see Violet in cutesy mode all the time. We don't see her in serious stuff. So you just don't really think about it for like children actresses, because you think that they're just kind of, doing their lines and doing what they're told, and there's not much emotional effort that really needs to be put in when it comes to kids. But they had to for this, and she went there and killed it, which I was very impressed with. So kudos to Joffiel. I wasn't wowed with Josh Swikard. Amanda did okay. Jane Elliott, of course, was Jane Elliott, and she killed it. It was weird because Cody broke the news, and I kind of wished it was Brooklyn, or even Lois and Ned at least. But Jane can make anything work. So it worked. She did her thing, and she had a beautiful moment. And she also shared scenes with Stella as well, and told her to let her know, basically, to cover the costs of whatever Gregory's affairs are, whether it's, burial, his affairs, whatever. She's covering the cost of how much it will be. I love Tracy as a cynic with a heart of gold. Like, it endears me to her more, because it just shows how layered of a character she is. She's so well written, and I think the writers, we've seen several under Frank Valentini at this point, but they've all done a pretty good job with Tracy. And I'm glad it's continuing under Patrick and Elizabeth. We'll see how it goes when it's just Elizabeth. I don't think there's going to be any problem with that. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Another great scene that stemmed from this fallout, though, was a scene that happened. Are we back? I do not know, but I really hope so. Because it's saying my Wi-Fi is on, but I can't see the chat right now. Okay, y'all can see me? Okay. Okay, that's good. Thank you for your patience, everybody.
Saying my Wi-Fi is on.
Oh, okay. Calm down, loud me. Thank goodness. Now, oh boy. Okay, the downside is I can't see my chat right now. Unless I pull it open on different screen. But thanks for bearing with me. It's been, honestly, my Wi-Fi has crapped out every single day this week for like, at least an hour each night. And it's usually between like 8 and 10 o'clock. Something happens for a bit. And it's nuts, and it's been driving me up the wall. I'm with Rogers. Honestly, F Rogers. I'm looking into something else. But thanks for your patience. I hope some of y'all are still here. OBS, because the chat had disconnected, it's not letting me see if you guys are chatting with me. So I'm just trying to change my settings on my computer so I can have the live up on my computer or on one screen and then see the chat just from YouTube. Okay. I'm back. These are not the settings that I wanted to see. But yeah, so where we last left off, I think, was Violet. We were talking about her talent as an actress. And yeah, she's super talented, and I'm impressed with her performance. And I was also very impressed with Jane Elliott. She can do no wrong in my eyes. Sorry, I'm nearly about to see the chat, you guys, I swear. And then I'll catch up to what you guys were saying. And then we'll talk about the rest of the show, and we'll speed run it a little bit so that I'm not keeping you guys on too late. Obviously, y'all have work in the morning. You had a 3-day weekend. I get it. But we're back, and we're just going to rush through the whole damn thing. All right. As soon as I see my chat, which will be momentarily here. And if it craps out again, which I hope not, but if it does, we're calling it. But as far as I can tell, the Wi-Fi is still on. There we go. Where's the live? There's the live. Let's go to it. Let's mute it so we can't hear me twice. Thanks for your patience, by the way, guys. This is as frustrating to me as I'm sure it is to you. Okay. Okay. I think I see the chat. What are y'all saying? Okay, I'm back. Yes, we're fully functional now. Okay. If it would have stopped while we were talking about Johnny, I was screamed conspiracy. That would have been nuts. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about Elizabeth next, actually, because I have a lot to say about the situation that transpires. And sorry, expect me to be looking to the left to see the chat constantly. All right. We're back. So, like I said, I loved Michael Easton's performance, loved Joffiel Love's performance. Josh Swickard and Amanda, they didn't wow me. They didn't, they did all right, but I was just kind of meh. Jane Elliott, of course, crushed it. Cody told her about Gregory. I kind of wished it was Brooklyn, or at least like Ned and Lois, someone from her family. But Jane can make anything work, so it's fine. And she also shared scenes with Stella and told her to let her know the costs and expenses Gregory's family would have to deal with, and she'll cover all of it. Tracy as this cynic with a kind heart just endears me to her even more. What would you say, Angel? You said I got in an argument with my internet company a couple weeks ago. Y'all don't get Verizon. Anybody got Google Fiber? I don't. So I'm with Rogers currently. Rogers, and like not by choice, by the way. Shaw or Care, two internet companies are Shaw and Rogers. Rogers bought Shaw. Rogers has had some issues in Canada, just in the general sense. So we never wanted to be with them. We gave it a chance once they merged, and the chance, they've blown it several times over because this Wi-Fi thing happens quite often. Never had it happen during a live stream. It's happened just before. Wow, it's frustrating when it happens during. Who's Neil? What? Okay. Oh yeah, one thing I want to talk about was another great scene that stemmed from the fallout of Gregory's death was a scene that happened between Ned and Lois, surprisingly. They had this profound conversation about their history and how they've managed to stay friends and co-parent and raise their daughter together, and how they were in awe of the person she became, and they kind of gave each other like a pat in the back, you know, like we did good kind of vibes. And they told each other that they loved each other, like family, obviously. And honestly, the scene just felt so meta because you guys know Wally and Rena, they were married in real life. They had a kid together and they divorced and they still co-parented. They're still friends. They still all hang out as a family and they still love each other. It was kind of like getting a window into their real life. And now look at them. They're working together on a show again as former lovers and good friends. So I don't know. It was like a really cool moment. I know people are very take it or leave it with Lois. I personally love her. You know, her character is like larger than life, but like sweet and endearing. For me, anyway. I really enjoy her. And she's such a throwback. She's such a throwback to those eccentric, you know, stereotypes that they did in the 90s. But Rena's good enough that she bases it in reality to an extent. Or she knows how to, you know, make her a real person. But yeah, anyway, the worst part of this fallout of Gregory's death was that it drove Finn to pick up the bottle again, which, let's be real, I feel like we all knew this was coming. And I feel like this would have happened even if he didn't accidentally have a sip of a drink during the wedding. The night before Gregory died, Finn had called Alexis to let her know that he accidentally took a drink, and he was really beating himself up over it, even though it really wasn't his fault. I just question how the bottle got into his house. Like, maybe I missed it. Maybe it was mentioned on how the bottle was from Gloria and Carmine, like Lois's parents. But like, did they send it before the wedding? Did they gift it like during the rehearsal dinner? I'm confused. I don't know where it came from and how it got there. Obviously he drank it. I don't know. I mean, the sad part is I can't even blame Finn for falling off the wagon. It's got to be the most soul-crushing experience to lose a parent, you know? And that would be a hard thing to deal with if you are already, you know, an addict. And yeah, you've been sober for a year, but it's always a continuous journey, I'm sure. So, or a year, several years. Finn has been sober for like, what, 7 years? But yeah, man, when Elizabeth got to Finn's place and clocked that drink on the table and then got close to Finn and smelled his breath, smelled his, you know, person, she went into full mama bear mode, you guys. She went right to protecting Violet. she was ready to get her out of the house and take her to crash at her place for the night. And Finn refused to let her go with her. He obviously had to be drunk. He wasn't thinking rationally because he shouldn't want his daughter to see him like this. And you know, like, clearly Finn just lost it. And Elizabeth did what she had to do and called Chase to get to the house quick. And she just took herself out of the equation. And I don't know if the writers had any of this in mind, but Elizabeth has firsthand knowledge of dealing with an addict. You know, Lucky was an addict. He was addicted to pills back in the day. And she was hurt physically by Lucky. He threw her to the ground once. I think it was an accident how she fell to the ground, but, like, you know, he like shook her and she just fell to the floor. But yeah, so Elizabeth knows that someone that is not sober can physically hurt someone unintentionally, so she just wanted to get Violet out of there. And, you know, she couldn't do it herself, so she sent Chase and Brooklyn there. And Brooklyn takes Violet out for a bite to eat. And Chase manages to talk Finn into pouring the rest of the alcohol into the sink and get himself into a meeting. And I think that he genuinely was making the effort. I think he genuinely didn't want to throw his life down the gutter over this. And I would have been convinced that might have been the end of it. The problem is Elizabeth confided to Portia about Finn's slip, and it's clear that Portia is torn between being Elizabeth's friend and being the chief of staff. So if Finn loses his job or gets suspended or anything of the sort, it might be the thing that drags him off the wagon again. And that's gonna suck. That's horrible. Okay, what are y'all saying? Angel, you said, I hope that Lois and Ned talk is true in real life. It was very cool by Gwen Stefani moment. It was, wasn't it? I mean, yeah, I guess we can't really know the whole story, but clearly, like, Rena didn't have to come back to the show, and I don't think that she would have if they were in a decent place in their own relationship, right? She just got married again. You know, she's happy, and she's still working with her ex, and it's fine. And we've seen pictures of Rena and Wally with their daughter at her graduation. They hang out as a family in real life still, too. So they can clearly be... They're clearly friends. I think it's safe to say that they're clearly friends. So there you go. But yeah, this whole Finn story, I'm worried. I don't know if Finn and Liz are going to survive this, and I know that they're very much a take it or leave it kind of couple, but to have a doctor and a nurse be together at GH, like, it's something that's needed, and I think that they need to go that route. And really, there's, like, no doctors and nurses left. It's Liz and Finn. Like, yeah, TJ too, but he's in a relationship with someone that's not a doctor. I don't see that dispersing anytime soon. And yeah, there's not really much else in terms of characters in the hospital, and we need more of that. And I wish that they would invest in them and make them more interesting and more rootable to watch. You know, Elizabeth is a legacy character. She comes from, you know, her grandparents, Steve and Audrey, being the first, you know, the first for Steve and among the first for Audrey on the show, period, 60 years ago. So they need to find a way to make that couple work, because they have all right chemistry. They're you know, their family dynamic is really cool, and I want more for them. That's all. Angel, you said, when my mom died, not dad. My dad is still alive. I love him. Okay. I think they did that right for the death. Portia deserves to know she's chief of staff and he's a doctor. At very least, he needs a bereavement break he can't be drinking and around patients. That's another lawsuit. No, I totally get that. Like, I think that she does have the right to know. I just don't know. Like, Elizabeth had no one to talk to, and that sucks because, like, she clearly don't have any friends. I mean, Terry, I feel like she should have gone to Terry. What a weird excuse, to not use Cassandra James. Like, Liz's childhood friend who has been there since, Finn and Liz originated, and she was there through Franco as well. Like, it just makes sense that she would go running to Terry and not Portia. Alright, but moving on, we gotta move this along, because obviously the long pause for the live stream. Let's get into Kristina's reaction to what Sonny did. It was another major story that took place at the start of the week. Kristina seeing Sonny for who he was because Sonny took it upon himself to nearly beat Dex to death because Dex didn't want to fight back. Jason tried to pull him off, and Sonny shouted something to the effect of, "I will kill you both, or I will empty these bullets into both of your heads." And Kristina heard it and dropped her plate and was shocked and ran away. Sonny, of course, tries to do damage control, tracks her down in the bathroom, and tries to speak to her, and he goes towards her, and she was so traumatized that she flinched and almost screamed. And, she had the fear of God in her. And Kate Manzi gave a phenomenal performance. Here's the thing. I wouldn't say that I didn't accept her as Kristina. I think that she's been doing a great job, but we've just not seen an emotional story for Kristina yet. Like, something that's gonna cause her to have to really bring her A game in the acting chops. And as a Lexi fan myself, as far as emotional materials go, Lexi was the GOAT in that. Like, she knew how to cry. She knew how to show fear. She did her thing when she was Kristina. So Kate had big shoes to follow. And you guys have to realize that I did not know Kate Manzi before she joined GH. So I had nothing to go on. So I didn't know if she was capable. Clearly she is. She did a great job. So kudos to her. She proved herself worthy of Kristina if we can't have Lexi. The only issue is, and it has nothing to do with Kate, is that Kristina already knew who Sonny was. Kristina has seen Sonny be volatile on multiple occasions. And he almost blew her up in a car bomb once because he didn't like that she was hanging out with Johnny Zakara. So this whole story is a bit ridiculous. They could have at least written it to be like, he hasn't done anything volatile in a long time, because she really hasn't been around his world since she was that young back in the day, because they barely utilize her. but yeah, that part annoys me. They could have just been like, it's been so long since I've seen my father in that light, and was I fooling myself? Like, those that's all they needed to tweak to make it a bit more believable. Terry's still the chief of staff to the boss. Oh, I know that, but I feel like Terry would have kept it secret and just given Finn some time off and just not really turned it into a thing. Because I feel like, let's say Finn was sober and didn't slip in all this stuff, I would feel like he would get a few weeks off to deal with his father's death. You know what I mean? So, that's, and then Terry could be like, when he comes back, if there's anything, then I have to, put the hammer down, so to speak. Sorry, I missed some of the chat here, so let me just scroll back up. I like the storyline. I think that was Dan beefed and didn't want to get any more juicy stuff. The problem is the show doesn't give a damn to invest in them. We know they have their favorites. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. That whole Kristina reaction is the reason somebody possibly lost their job as head writer. I can't because Kristina knows better. Kristina has been to therapy. I think it was a bunch of things collectively. I mean, I don't know. Patrick has an excuse to not know certain characters, but at the same time, that's when he should be really checking in with Elizabeth, who's been there through all of these storylines that took place. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's safe to say there's a collective bunch of reasons why that guy probably got fired, and we list them off all the time. Like, you know, Ava being suddenly evil again, everyone flipping their opinions on Sonny again. Like, just out of character situations, things that don't make sense. There's a lot of things that don't make sense, and that's why he probably got fired. But anyway, I wouldn't peg it to just one thing. Anyway, Kristina's scenes with Blaze were great too. It was nice to see Blaze handle the situation so well and not let it shake her. And she just, you know, she did her thing as Kristina's girlfriend and just supported her and talked her through her feelings and was just there for her. Jason had called Carly to go to Sonny to talk to him, and they had their first civil conversation in months, and it was nice to see because honestly, this story of Sonny being off his meds and no one doing anything about it is the most frustrating thing for me. Especially Ava not doing anything about it. I just need someone to be on top of this soon. Because it's just, I don't know. They need to salvage this mess. But what I did like about this week is that Carly actually goes to check on Sonny at one point, and you know, it's the same as usual. Nothing's his fault. Everyone else is a traitor. And she says something to the effect of, what happens when you run out of traitors and you have to actually look at the man that you've become? Like, I would have hoped that maybe, like, changed something in him. And, you know, he didn't just lose Kristina that night. The next day he goes to Dante's house and puts him in a position where he knows his father committed a crime, beating up Dex, and has the expectation that Dante's just not going to say anything to the PCPD, and that he'll also go up to bat for Kristina with him to make what he did okay for her. Sorry, allergies today. The air, man, the spring, the fluffy stuff is now in the air, so it's been a day for me. But yeah, so I liked that when he asked Dante to go up to bat for him for Kristina, he was just like, no, I'm done, man. Like, honestly, I feel like, sorry, gosh, I feel like his reason is valid, and it makes sense. It makes sense to the character that he is. It's not the first time that he's had to kind of balance the scales in terms of who his father is. My God, I'm so sorry, you guys. And this is like a pretty major thing because it's Dex who's joined the PCPD, and it's Kristina's sister, and he's put him into two very like vile situations as a brother and a friend of Dex and fellow colleague. Like, it puts Dante in a rough position. It makes sense that he is like putting the hammer down on Sonny. And of course Sonny is like, you betrayed me. You're a traitor now. My own son has forsaken me. Like, like the way he speaks, like, it doesn't make sense to me that no one can tell that he's not in his right mind, and there's gotta be some, like, I mean, here's like Carly and Jason, they already suspected that he wasn't on his meds. He thinks that he is. Carly checked his meds. They were being eaten as what's been told. He isn't neglecting it. Carly told him to get blood work at some point a few weeks back, and he never did. And it felt like he was going to. Like, it felt to me like he was going to and just forgot about it, maybe because he ran into to Blaze's mother, and then just focused on that. But yeah, someone needs to remind him again to maybe go and do that, because this is definitely a good reason. Like Sonny beating a man in like a very public ballroom in a hotel where anyone could have walked in on it, and people did. Jason and Kristina did. Like that alone, I'd be like, dude, this is not you. You'd at least be smart about where you're gonna beat him up. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I need someone to do something, because Ava's clearly not gonna do the right thing. My guess is it's gonna bite Ava in the ass before anyone even finds out that she had the knowledge of what's going on with him. But I think, and I'm scared, but what I think is Avery's probably going to get hurt in some way due to Sonny's actions, because Ava didn't do anything to help Sonny while he's spiraling, and it's only getting worse each passing day. Maybe that'll scare her into doing something. Maybe it'll scare Sonny into checking on his meds, hurting his kid physically. Carly had already mentioned he should get blood work done, like I said. So hopefully that comes back into his mind soon. Now, as for the aftermath of what happened with Kristina and Dex, Kristina had talked to Michael, and Michael went to Dex and told him to not press charges against Sonny, because that would mean Kristina would have to go stand on trial and testify against her father, and that'll bring stress to the baby because she's pregnant, and she's heavily pregnant. So that was frustrating, but I get Michael as the big brother, like that's his priority, is his sister and that baby. Kristina does feel like she wants this baby to not be in a world where Sonny is roaming free after nearly beating Dex to death and hearing him threaten to kill him. So she calls Dex to the Metro Court because she's crashing with Blaze, and tells Dex that he should press charges. But then Dex goes to Anna and speaks to her off the record, asking for her advice about the situation. And she thinks that he should just stay quiet for now, because it's Kristina. She's heavily pregnant. He'd never be able to live with himself, I think, if Kristina lost the baby due to the stress of what this would cause her. And I get it. I get it. That's very honorable, Anna. I just feel like at this point, Sonny's got several things pending. There's Cyrus's statement and Dex's statement about what Sonny almost made him do. Now there's Sonny almost killing Dex. He's going to get arrested for something soon. Not that it'll matter, because everything he did was during a time where he wasn't on proper medication, unbeknownst to him, mind you. And he'll get off again because of that, on that technicality. And then he'll likely be smarter about his behavior once he's clear-headed. And they'll have to use something else to bring him down. But Sonny's going to be more careful because he knows that no one's giving him, the free pass anymore. Alright, but let's move on. Let's talk about Alexis. This week, we got to see two actors who were once lightning in a bottle and a different soap reunite on screen together. Alexis was in New York to try and get her law license back, and the one she's facing off with is Fergus, Neil's brother. No bias there at all. He fought dirty, man. Alexis fought back, don't get me wrong, because there was a lot of things she didn't know about from that time until that hearing that she had this week. And one of them was the fact that her accuser was Ava Jerome. They're just throwing our girl under the bus like nothing. It's I don't know. And I'm pretty sure this is a rewrite. I think Julian's the one that brought this to the board. Was he not? Julian or Britt? But yeah, maybe I'm wrong about that. Let me know if you guys remember. But yeah, damn. I think Alexis will get her law license back sooner rather than later. Because why put us through all this for her not to get her job back? And plus, he was saying things like that was going to make it a bit more easier for her to get her job back because he's clearly emotionally involved. Fergus was saying things like, if it weren't for Alexis, my brothers would be alive. And we know that's not true because Neil was killed by Harmony because he knew that Willow wasn't her daughter, and Harmony also killed his other brother. And I think for a very similar reason, I would imagine. And even tried to kill Alexis. So it had nothing to do with Alexis being toxic. Yeah, Julian. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Julian ratted her out. That's what I thought. Like, so the fact that they're making it Ava that did it is insane. Just another way to make her more evil. I just don't understand. I don't get it. Ava, and like, especially towards the end of Julian Jerome's life, she wasn't really endured to him. She had kind of cleaned her act up a lot at that point and was very much like, you're on your own, especially towards the end. So I don't know. Ava was not ride or die for Julian at this point, so insane. Yeah, they changed it to Ava. Yeah, just making her evil for no reason, just to sell what she's going through now. Ay. Yeah, they're writing Ava into a corner, and I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it either. It's unnecessary. They can, like, Ava's one of those characters where we saw the growth, and it was a slow burn growth, but she got there, and so to have it just, like, taken away, and then, like, they're just doing all these rewrites to sell this current Ava that we see now, it's so frustrating. Yeah, they gotta make Ava the bad guy because you're the only character that has a change from being a bad person. She just didn't do crime anymore. Yeah, she didn't do crime anymore, but, like, she wasn't being a bad person for the most part either, unless it was, like, within her relationships with men. but like, not for, like, she made her friend. She's done what she could to make herself a legitimate businesswoman, and you know, things like Kiki's death really changed her. Ryan Chamberlain really changed Ava. Like, I think also, like, going back to what Ava went through, especially with the Ryan Chamberlain stuff, his obsession with her was because he saw himself in Ava. And I think that scared her even more into being a good person. On top of the fact that he killed her daughter. But I don't know, y'all. That just, it's wild that they've done this to Ava. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it in terms of the recap. Thank God the live stream didn't go longer than it, had to. I kind of walked everything. I'm sure there's, like, little obscure stuff I missed. I know I could talk about Molly and TJ. They just had a conversation about Kristina and whether TJ's being too hard. Who knows? Obviously, at some point, Molly has to find out about what Kristina went through with Sonny. And that'll be an interesting conversation for the two of them to have. And of course there was Dex and Joss, and are they gonna get back together? Aren't they? I don't care. They could get together and ride off into the sun at this point. They do nothing for me. But yeah, I think that's it. So we'll wrap things up here. Like I said, this Wednesday, we're going to have a memorial for Johnny Wachter. We'll get into all the messages that the GH cast left him. We'll watch clips of his other acting gigs. he's posted reels on his own YouTube channel that he had. It wasn't a very active one, but there's stuff there, and I've clipped things from there, or set up in a playlist for us to watch on Wednesday. And we'll just reflect back to just the amount of loss that GH has faced this year is so, it's heartbreaking, honestly. Like, and I said this at the beginning of the stream, like 5 actors in the span of a year and a half gone, all for different reasons. Sonya, an emergency surgery went wrong. Tyler, unfortunately, died from his alcoholism. Billy from suicide, and Jackie from cancer, and Johnny from getting shot. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, you're on the I don't give about page about Jax. Well, they weren't really a believable couple for me in the first place. Like, they just threw them together, did Cameron dirty, and then like just had them have sex and call that a relationship. That's all they did for like a whole year, was just make love constantly, everywhere. But yeah, I'm neither here nor there about them. But yeah, so we'll tune in this Wednesday. Join me for his memorial on Wednesday. It's gonna be a tough one. I'm probably gonna cry, honestly. Just, it's sickening. It's sickening what happened to him, and also just like the cast words and thoughts about him, the stuff that I've seen so far. Like, I feel like obviously there's so much stuff that we didn't know about Johnny himself, and to hear it from the cast and from such a variety of cast members, it really like hit home. Like, he must have been a good person. There's not a single person that's not said anything about him, it feels like. And it's like, I don't know, makes me wish I like paid attention to him after he left GH, man. But yeah, we'll get into all of that. We're gonna cry it out together on Wednesday. Like I mentioned earlier, we can't really watch clips from GH because it's too new. He was only here for 2 years within the last few years. So I can't really live stream it because it'll literally cut off my live stream, and then we won't be able to enjoy it. So we're going to play it safe, but we're going to give him a memorial nonetheless. And we had to do that with Billy Miller too. We didn't watch GH clips, but we found things to watch, and I've got things for us to watch and look back on. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning into the live stream. Thanks so much for your patience, you guys. I know it was a bit nutso today with my Wi-Fi crapping out midstream. Here's hoping it doesn't happen again. Yeah, if you liked this live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. And I will catch you guys this Wednesday. Peace out. Mwah. Taking me a second to turn this off. I'm sorry, guys. So did I.